Hi guys, welcome back to Crypto Mischief. Richie here, where I talk about my favorite thing in the entire world. It's cryptocurrency. Still is, that's right. Today we will be checking out an upcoming sale, pre-sale, I see it as, for a very exciting project which has caught my eye and I will personally be investing into it. It's called OXVM. It has serious backers. It has doxed developers and a brilliant idea which is, in my opinion, hopefully going to solve one of Bitcoin's biggest problems. That is offering smart contract functionality on Bitcoin chain, offering lending, GameFi, DeFi, and more on Bitcoin transacting with smart contracts. That is something that no one yet has been able to do in a popular way. It doesn't happen. Bitcoin is made up of course, we had runes recently, which is essentially meme coins on Bitcoin. We have ordinals, which are essentially NFTs, but better, artifacts on Bitcoin. They are better. Bitcoin's better, it is. But we do not have any kind of smart contract executions really happening on Bitcoin chain, Bitcoin being the most secure of all the chains. This OXVM and their node sale are looking to raise, awareness and raise capital for their project. And in return, you will be getting their token sent to your wallet every day up until their token generation event, where you will be able to cash out with the token and be rewarded also in xBTC for holding their nodes as well. So it looks like there's a two-way reward system plus other perks. We will be examining OXVM. This, as I said, is my third node project in my node folio. We'll call it my node portfolio, my node folio. It's the third project I've chosen to invest in myself. We are also in two other projects for nodes that I've talked about on this channel recently. So just before we start talking about OXVM, which is right here, we will first get some updates on what's going on with the two other ones which we have covered. We have the first node project that I joined this year was Agent Layer, who are over here. Their node sale is still running. So far, they've sold 8,282 nodes. And unfortunately, we expected to see the token generation event for these nodes in July. We're now at the end of August, going into September. We still don't have a token to hold yet to get the ROI or start getting the ROI on our investments, right? But we do have some news. The latest news coming from Agent Layer was from, let me just find out, I was checking earlier, from August 23rd, last week, where they said they have started to deploy the smart contracts onto base chain for the launch of the token generation event. So that's the last thing they've talked. And then, of course, they've gone on about different airdrops they've done and partnerships that they've been building in their ecosystem, which is great, all supportive of that. But, like most of us, I want my tokens. We have two nodes for Agent Layer. And so far, I've earned 5,400 tokens, which is great. Because they haven't sold so many nodes under 10,000, that means that every day I am earning a lot of agent token. So eventually, I really hope that this will, be lucrative for Agent Layer. They are building AI agents on the blockchain, essentially enabling AI like ChatGPT bubbles all over the blockchain to work, and by holding the node, you are securing that network. So it is a popular narrative, and that's why I went into this one first, because AI is one of the biggest emerging markets, and having a share of the tokens and on their blockchain, running into nodes and validating it could be financially lucrative. The second one to talk about would be Lumia. We do have 14 Lumia nodes. Each node now is worth $4,000. And no word yet on the token generation event. They did, though, say that they were going to stop the node sale now because the node sales have slowed down. The price of the nodes now is $4,000 when it used to be $1,000. The OXVM nodes, by the way, are $700 each to begin with. We have earned quite a lot, actually. So before we staked our nodes, we had a DAO decision. This is not just my nodes, by the way. These are our community for our channel and our NFT holders. If you hold the Crypto Mischief SCC NFT, you also own a share of these 14 nodes and the tokens they're emitting. We voted, and it was decided to stake 75% of our nodes in a 3-month stake. And since that's been 2 weeks of doing that. And we have earned an extra 1,600 tokens in that 2-week phase. So actually staking your Lumia nodes is financially lucrative. I should have done it earlier, to be honest. But they then announced that they were going to be doing a vote to decide to stop the node sale of the other 22,000 nodes and then airdrop them to current Lumia node holders. And that vote has happened. It's going through. They are 96% yes for this. Unfortunately, they don't let the node holders vote. It's only people who hold VE ORN positions. So this vote is going through without our say, and it will happen. They will then want us to stake our nodes for 12 to 24 months to get the airdrop of the rest of the nodes, locking your nodes up essentially for 1 year plus. I'm mixed on that. It's good and bad because, of course, with node sales, we want the token sooner, right? That's what I want to preface this node sale with, because now you're thinking, okay, so what are node sales? What's happening here? Why would I think about getting invested in this? Okay, so this is OXVM. They will launch their node sale tomorrow. From tomorrow, when it begins, you will be able to come in and purchase one validation node for 700 USDT. I believe it's on the Binance Smart Chain. And once you buy your node, you will start to get rewarded in their token. Okay, you will get XVM token rewarded into you. Every day, they will send 700,000 XVM tokens to node holders. So if on day one, only 2 people buy the nodes, right, then they would both get 350,000 tokens sent to them that first day, second day, third day, this does have halvings every 6 months of emissions, which is great too. So getting in early is always the best way. Of course, we don't just want 2 node sales on the first day. Probably 1,000 or 500 node sales would be extremely successful for this project in the first day. But then still, you're going to get more tokens than anyone else, right, as the beginning, right? So that's how it happens. After 10,000 nodes are sold, the price of nodes begins to creep up and get more and more expensive. You can also, once you purchase your node, you can start to share the information that they provide to other people. If they buy the nodes with your link, then you will start to receive referral rewards, which grow as you refer more people. So you can actually ROI from something like this by just referring other people to purchase them as well. You would just come to the dashboard, which would be here. And if you have referred anyone, then you would come here, you would claim your referral reward, and that would be it. So here is my code here. If you are wanting to go in, then go in with that one, and it goes to our NFT holders, right? We do it every month. We've airdropped for 11 months straight on this channel, over $80,000 sent to NFT holders in 11 months. Next month is our 1-year anniversary of airdropping, and I'm very proud that we've achieved so much with such a solid community. Anyway, we're talking about OXVM today, not me. Right, so anyone can run a node. That's right. You don't need to know how to run blockchain and work with smart contracts and create, calls. You don't need to do that with these virtual nodes, right? They're not technically nodes. Anyone can run them. No complex setup is needed. You just delegate your node that you've purchased and it runs. Then you monitor it to see how much money you're making every day, essentially, right? The validator node performs the critical function of upholding the integrity of the OXVM network. As a validator node owner, you are entitled to daily XVM rewards, 5 to 15% referral fees, increased voting privileges in governance decisions, xBTC gas fees. That's right, because they'll be running on a chain, and xBTC will be the token which will be paying gas, and you will receive xBTC and XVM token for being a node holder, which is one of the reasons why I decided, yes, this sounds great, because I like Bitcoin. I want more of it. Revenue sharing as well, with XVM or layer 2 native tokens from projects operating on OXVM, because they will be running, again, their own network, which is working with Bitcoin and enabling smart contracts to run on Bitcoin chain, right? As well as priority access to other exclusive privileges as their network grows. So this is day one, very early into the project, to see if it's going to be successful by getting in early, making your stake, and seeing how it pans out. Not financial advice. You need to read everything about this project before deciding to invest in it or not. And again, like I said, it is a node project. We don't know when the token will be available for trading that we're earning. So it's like I break down my investments into crypto in different ways. That's why I don't go into so many node projects. Just agent layer, Lumia, and now OXVM are how I'm running with this, right? Because I like to do different things too. I take a portion of my portfolio and I hold it in blue chips. Then some of it I put into concentrate liquidity pools to earn passive income, right? I then have meme coins, which I just gamble in like a casino, sometimes win, usually lose in this market currently. that's crypto, right? I have passive income dApps, which I use for daily earning, right? If you are looking to invest into a node project thinking that you might be making your ROI within 2 weeks, 1 month, or 2 months, it's probably not realistic because these projects generally take a long time to release the token and a long time to build. By getting into them, you're looking through the documentation of the developers, the partnerships they have, and their overall idea, and if you think it will be a successful blockchain project or not. Then later on down the line, you realize it's realized, and then you find out if you have made the right decision, if you've guessed the right way that that crypto's going, the market's going, and people decided where to invest, right? So that's why I went with Lumia, because it's huge, it's a massive one. Agent layer because it's AI narrative, and I think that'll be massive. OXVM because it's trying to do something which has never been done before. They do have fantastic partners as well. Just coming down to check out their partnerships on their website, which would be down here. They have their founders who are doxed. This is Bjorn Lindfors, who is the CEO and co-founder of OXVM. You can see he's doxed here on Twitter. He put out a large statement where he talked about who he is, why he founded OXVM, what he's trying to do, and all of that. So you can come to Twitter and read about Bjorn, see his vision, and get updates as the project's going along, which is a really bullish thing for a node project because you do need continuous updates, not only to sell more nodes to get the project more capital to continue to develop and grow it, but at the same time to make investors easily minded, right? Because you don't want to invest in something that will be paying out much later and then get not that much communication from them. That would be horrible, right? So he does have a huge introduction to who he is and what he's wanting to do, right? With it. We want to check out a little bit. Okay, let's get into the bit that I like, okay? Despite the world collectively having solved many platform-related challenges over the last decade, one of the biggest opportunities, or perhaps the biggest opportunity, is yet to be solved: a scalable financial infrastructure platform for entrepreneurs, innovators, and ordinary users around the world. I'm convinced this is best manifested through Bitcoin. That is what we're doing. Bitcoin has served me and many of you well in its function as a store of value, but it no longer has to be limited to simply being a store of value. It could be so much more. With upgrades to the Bitcoin network, like inscriptions and ordinals, we can store and uniquely track arbitrary key value pairs with transactions. OXVM uses these upgrades as a way for the user to provide instructions for our EVM compatible execution layer, Ethereum virtual machine, right? Smart contracts. The result of this is that OXVM can provide dApp and DeFi opportunities to the Bitcoin network. We accomplish this whilst keeping your transactions fully secure on the most secure chain, Bitcoin. We have an amazing team, we have an amazing product, we have amazing investors, but we also need you. Together, we can create a better financial future for everyone, leveraging the transformative power of decentralized finance. Okay, so that is what he is trying to achieve, and that's why I think this vision is extremely bullish, right? The investors as well convinced me to follow up with this project and get involved with it because they do have some great investors. This one really piqued my interest, would be Razer. Okay, Razer, of course, they make mouses and keyboards and lights and cameras and stuff for gamers, right? And if Bitcoin could execute smart contracts and scale, then GameFi would flood to Bitcoin. And that's why I think Razer have come in and invested into this platform. I did check their website. They are OXVM are listed as a partner or an investment in their portfolio on Razer's on their website as well. So it is legit. They also have Hobby, of course, Unicorn Verse as well. Then coming down to gaming layer 2s in the Bitcoin ecosystem, they're joining up with Avocado DAO. Zentry, Gamic, okay, Snack Club, who are all quite big players, medium big players in the gaming space. Okay, so that's some of the bullish information about OXVM. They do have a chart here of how it all works. By owning a node, you would be on the right here, validating their network, right? And then getting the execution layer running on the bottom here, which is the smart contract layer, Bitcoin transactions coming through, function outputs, and then to the operators, right? It's a little bit confusing. All you really need to know, though, is it's the way I see it, that you are investing early into a project which could be huge, right? And by getting in so early, you will have a lot of this token at some point in the future to trade and make a lot of money from. That's why you are essentially aiming for successful teams who are going to make massive projects. Benefits, of course, you get 700,000 XVM in daily distribution. You can onboard people and get a 5 to 15% referral paid to you in USDT straight into your wallet once you claim it. And network participation rewards, as we said, xBTC gas fees. Yes, give me that, please. That would be fantastic. Step by step, what do we do tomorrow then? You would come to the website, connect your wallet. I think Binance Smart Chain, we're going to have to double check that one. That's the easiest thing to figure out, though. Purchase. Once you purchase, you then one-click delegate your node, and then you can monitor your rewards as they start to roll in. That is essentially the basics for OXVM. And with that, I just want to have a little chat about how I see this, right? I see investing in nodes, especially because the capital that you put in will be locked for some time, as kind of seeing yourself or attempting to be a futurist, right? What's a futurist? Futurist is a person who sees the future. They look at the present day. They try to imagine what people need and want in the future. They invest in it in the present day so that when the future arrives, they've already got a position in it, or they've already created it, as Bjorn is attempting to do, and they can reap the rewards. Either they get the amazing income from investing into a project, which then becomes mainstream, right? Or they get the lauded by the public for being such an amazing genius inventor. You take modern day futurists like Elon Musk, right? He saw the need for pushing electric vehicles and for taking over Twitter and trying to push his idea of free speech, and it, pushed him to become one of the most well-known people in the world. So this is how I see node sales in a smaller scale, of course. That if this project, if OXVM can realize and actually roll out what they're saying they're going to do, and it gains traction and people begin to use it in a popular way, not even mainstream, but even if 10% of people who are in Bitcoin began using OXVM, right, and it started growing and working alongside with Bitcoin Network, and Bitcoin Maxi started getting involved with it, you would be sitting there in a position where you're like, oh, I've already got a node. I've been earning this token for months, and now it's my turn. It's my time to come home and bring home the bacon. That's why I'm speculating on buying into this. At the same time, it does come with that degree of risk that the project might take longer than expected to reach the token generation event, or to make the developments that they're trying to make actually happen. It could fail. This is all part of investing into DeFi. Don't use funds which you need for your daily life, because they could be locked up for a long time. But if you do have a long-term mindset for investment, and you go through the docs and believe that this project might be one that you're interested in, then, I'm not your daddy. Give it a bang, give it a whirl. I'm happy to add this to my third node project for my node folio, which I can't see growing very large, to be honest. I want at least one of these projects to reach the token generation event before I begin delving into more nodes, to be honest, or I'll just make my own node, can do that too. Okay. Peace. I've been Crypto Mischief. I hope you enjoyed this little catch up with the world of nodes, node mania, and everything involved in node vision. Be good to each other. Don't get wrecked. See you tomorrow for the node launch.